We are live tonight, Tuesday night. It is the County Road Custom Late Model Challenger Series round number 7, the Daniel Williamson Memorial 126 from Martinsville Speedway. Thank you for joining us live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Twitch. I'm Jeff By Jr., joined by Bill Tomer in the booth. And Bill, qualifying is underway for these drivers. We're going to have about 49 drivers looking for 26 spots in our feature event tonight. It is going to be an action-packed night of racing.
Yeah, we saw it last night, Jeff. We do apologize for a little bit of a tardy start there. We had a couple technical difficulties, but we are back racing, Jeff. We are watching qualifying happen. Most of the cars have actually put in their laps already. I think Elliott Carlson's still on the racetrack in the 09 machine. He will jump up to that 22nd spot, but there's so many cars that are trying to qualify into this event. It is going to be difficult just to make this field.
Yeah, it looks like Grayson Ward going to pick up the Wisconsin Weens and Walleyes Quick Qualifier Award. Another one for Grayson. He's been fast in qualifying this season, has a race win already. Bill Martin going to be second. And Bill, we're heading right into B main number 1. We need 4 drivers out of this 17-car B main. And this is just one of the B mains we're going to have tonight. Just an absolute massive field of cars.
Yeah, this is B main number 1, 17 cars trying to get into the field. They will run 26 laps or 12 minutes, whichever one they hit first. And we will see which 4 cars get into tonight's A main event. We're going to start 26 cars for 126 laps in the Daniel Williamson Memorial Race. Night number 2 of the Daniel Williamson Memorial.
Well, let's start off with B main number 1 on the pole. One of the guys in the B main points, it's the 54 of Dave Corsell. On the outside of him will be the 98 of Ian Martin.
Starting on the inside of row number 2, hasn't jumped in the race car just yet, but that's going to be the Joker in the 09. That's Elliott Carlson. And to his outside in the 07, that's Daniel Sweat.
Making his debut of the Late Model Challenger Series will be the 3 of Latham Joyner. On the outside of him, the 16 will be Cade Brown.
Starting in 7th position in the number 4, that is Chance Sapp. And to his outside in the 27, that's AJ DeSantis.
Caleb Hill will start 9th in the number 1 car. On the outside of him will be the 21 of Aaron Johnson.
Starting in the 11th position in the 62, that's Jason Dinsmore. And to his outside in that 42 car, that's Super Zach Onan.
Starting in the 13th position will be the 30 of Ron Hunter. On the outside of him will be the 50 of Matt Nicholson.
Starting in the 15th position is also making his debut with the series. That's the 95 machine of Bryson Brinkley. And to his outside in the 16th spot, that'll be the number 30 of Will Trevicki.
Starting in the 17th and final spot of this B main will be the 8 of Mark Stewart. So 17 cars on the grid. We're going to take just 4 to our feature event. Bill, that is a lot of cars going home, and you're in the back of this B main. You've got a lot of work to do if you want to get to the front.
Yeah, a lot of work to do for these drivers, Jeff. We'll take a look. We've actually got B main points gridded up for you. Daniel Sweat, the champion of the B main. Very unique situation we've got going on. So many cars trying to make it in these fields. We actually have a B main point system at the end of the season. County Road Custom is going to give one of these guys, or the champion of the B mains and the most points, is going to get a custom tumbler. It's a pretty cool reward for the guy that runs and finishes best in the B mains throughout the season.
Well, our top 2 in the B main points in this race together. So Dave Corsell going to start on the pole. Daniel Sweat in the 4th spot. So we're going to see how that one plays out for those drivers as they're getting set to go. Green Flag Racing pace car is going to head off the racetrack. Dave Corsell taking us Green Flag Racing for B main number 1. Looking for 4 drivers for tonight's Daniel Williamson Memorial 126. Corsell on the gas, and here Ian Martin on the outside. Got a little squirrely, but I think he's going to be good into turn 1.
Down into turn 1, looks like Elliott Carlson going to get into Ian Martin. Looked like Elliott just missed the inside there as we will go yellow entering turn 1. That's going to cause a single file restart, but I don't even know if we need to look at the replay. I think Elliott just overdrove turn, unless he got pushed, Jeff. We'll have to take a look.
No, he missed the corner, and he locked up the brakes, drove straight up the racetrack, collects Ian Martin. And that is a heartbreaker for Ian Martin, who is he's second in points and just got wiped out in turn 1 of a B main.
Down into turn number 1, Elliott just goes straight into the corner and just takes out Ian Martin. Ian Martin unfortunately got hit by some other cars as well, and Zach Onan ended up flipping in the 42 car as he just couldn't get woed up. He ended up top, got hit from behind by Jason Dinsmore. Looks like Matt Nicholson was involved. AJ DeSantis in the 27. Looks like Caleb Hall also in the 1. So a lot of cars caught in that one.
Yeah, big trouble there. And again, Ian Martin having issues. Zach Onan, that was the second one for him in 2 nights. He's been collected early on at a B main, and Zach just not liking Martinsville at all.
Yeah, this is a week he's going to want to forget in that 42 car. As he had issues last night. And Jeff, I found out that he is a North Carolina Tar Heels fan as well, apparently. So not a good night last night for Zach, and this night not starting off well either.
So base car lights are out. This will be a single file restart. They did not complete one lap, so we will restart with a single file for this B main. Dave Coursol, Daniel Sweat, Latham Joyner now up into the third spot. Cade Brown fourth. Those drivers getting a little help there.
Dave Coursol watches the pace car go off. He's going to lead the field through turns 3 and 4. It'll be his time to go, his choice when he wants to go. He's going to jump on the throttle, get a nice restart. Everybody going to stay single file down the front straightaway.
Dave Coursol back out front. Daniel Sweat under pressure from Latham Joyner. Those top 4 cars trying to break away from Chance Sapp. Remember, those are the 4 transfer spots as they run right now. Chance Sapp on the outside looking in, and he's got Aaron Johnson behind him in the 21. Johnson did not have the qualifying effort he was looking for at Martinsville. Missed the race last night in the shootout series. Needs to make it in if he wants to race at all in the Martinsville Speedway. Daniel Williamson 126s.
Yeah, those guys need to move forward right now. As Cade Brown in that 16 machine, he is going to be your last transfer position car. Right now, Cade Brown in the field. If they stay this way, there's a big gap behind those guys. Chance Sapp is there and Aaron Johnson is there, but then there's a huge gap behind Jason Dinsmore. A bunch of cars back there that are probably a bunch of damaged cars, Jeff. A bunch of guys that just can't get any speed out of the race cars. So I think the battle's going to be between this top 6 or 7.
Watching some battles going on further in the field as Will Dravicki trying to get around Matt Nicholson. He's going to dive underneath the 50 going into turn 1. Matt going to move up the racetrack, has to get room to the 50, but he is way up the track, going to catch the wall. Trouble for Matt Nicholson.
Nicholson into the outside wall. He's going to lose a bunch of positions in the 50 car. You see the damage on that machine. Looked like he got on the throttle and it just did not turn, so that car pushed on him. He has issues. A bunch of cars go by. Now here's Bryson Brinkley looking to make a move on Nicholson as well.
Top 5 cars, top 6 cars now starting to line up under a blanket here. Dave Coursol leading the way. Daniel Sweat second. Latham Joyner third. Cade Brown in that 4th spot. But Chance Sapp starting to gain on the 16. He's bringing Aaron Johnson with him in the 21. So we're about to have a really good race for this final transfer spot. Cade Brown needs to get moving if he doesn't want to get challenged for it by the 4 of Chance Sapp.
Yeah, this group has broken away from the rest of the field, so it's going to be these top 6 cars to settle this if we stay green. Jason Dinsmore running back there in that 7th spot. We might have had some issues back in the back. Looks like Adrian DeSantis struggled in the 27 car. He was down the bottom of the back straightaway. Not sure what happened to him, but he lost some spots. Bryson Brinkley as well. He got passed by Zach Onan towards the back. Here's Matt Nicholson up the hill once again in the 50 car. In the middle of the race, Jason Dinsmore having trouble. He's on the back straightaway sideways. He'll bring out a caution in that 62 machine.
Dinsmore around on the back straightaway. That triggers the caution on lap 9, and just looks like he got out of shape coming off turn 2, and I think Bill the curb claimed another one.
Yeah, we'll pick him up down through turns 1 and 2. We saw that claim a couple cars last night, including our leader, Thomas Axum. He had an issue. Oh, he looks like Dinsmore down on the bottom. Not sure what happened to Will Dravicki there. He ends up going all the way to the bottom and catches Dinsmore, who was down there. That was interesting. Maybe Will got loose coming off the corner, maybe avoiding the 30 of Ron Hunter.
Well, Bill, we're going to get this B main moving, so we're going to go right back to green flag racing. They are doubled up already. Dave Coursol, Daniel Sweat, Latham Joyner, Cade Brown. There'll be Chance Sapp and Aaron Johnson in that 3rd row, and you saw Jason Dinsmore still sitting on pit road, so I think his night is going to come to an end here as he made heavy contact with the inside wall. Pace car is off. Dave Coursol sending us green flag racing in this B main.
Side by side. We did have a car switch lanes there. I think Cade Brown dropped back behind that Latham Joyner machine. He was clear. We got a car around. Zach Onan around in turns 1 and 2. That's going to bring out another yellow.
Trouble for Onan as he spins in turns 1 and 2, and looks like he got a little help from behind as things started to stack up in front of him. The 50 car, Matt Nicholson, just tags the rear end of the 42, sends him around.
Just getting into the corner. Ooh. Just punts the 42. He gets in the back of Elliott Carlson. Carlson able to continue, but Onan spins again. So Onan having a rough night in that 42 car. Once again, he's just going to want to park that one. You know, Jeff, this is not a good night, not a good week for Zach Onan.
Yeah, just a terrible week here at Martinsville for the 42 driver. Not his nights.
Lights out on the pace car once again. They're going to single file. There'll be a single file restart, so they're going to bunch up. You see the whole field there on the back straightaway. So we're going to go green this time by.
Yeah, single file. They did not complete a lap, so this will help the guys that like Cade Brown that was going to restart 4th. He's going to finally have an inside starting spot. And actually, as I say that, Aaron Johnson is up to 5th now. So Aaron was able to get around Chance Sapp on the previous restart, and now he's going to start putting the pressure on Cade Brown.
So Aaron Johnson up to 5th, needs to make up one more position. Gonna have to pass a good driver to do it. Cade Brown runs a limited late model in real life, has 2 wins this season already at the Florence Motor Speedway in South Carolina. So Cade Brown going to try to defend that 4th spot and make it into Tonight's A main.
Will Dravicki is into the conversation as well. He is up into the 7th spot, now trying to get around Chance Sapp. So about 7 really fast cars on the racetrack. Ian Martin, he's trying to get around Ron Hunter for the 8th spot. Ian Martin, remember, you saw him spin on lap 1. Ooh, contact with Hunter going into turn 1.
Ian Martin, one of the drivers that has been doing very well in this series in that 98 car. He is in trouble tonight as he had that lap 1 incident with Elliott Carlson. He's trying to make his way forward now as he's up to 8th.
Cade Brown got a little contact from Aaron Johnson. That moved the 16 up the racetrack. Aaron now has the inside. The battle for the final transfer spot is on. Aaron Johnson, Cade Brown. Brown's going to slot in behind. He's going to get hit by Chance Sapp. Get into Aaron Johnson. They are just shoving each other for the transfer position.
Oh, wow. With all kinds of beating and banging. Will Dravicki's involved as well. Here comes Chance Sapp to the inside of Cade Brown. Brown going to try to shut the door. He drives it hard into turn number 1, slides up the hill just a little bit. Now Aaron Johnson getting away as Chance Sapp is on the throttle. He is trying to make moves in that number 4 car.
Cade Brown going to need to be defensive, but he's watching the 21 start to drive away from him. He needs one more position if he wants to race tonight, and he needs to run down the 21 of Aaron Johnson. Johnson trying to get away. Up front, it's still all Dave Coursol, Daniel Sweat, Latham Joyner. Those top 3 have pulled away.
Dave Coursol in the 54 car. He is gone and flying. Right behind him, though, is Daniel Sweat, but he doesn't look like he's going to try to put any kind of pressure on Dave out front. And then Latham Joyner, his first week in the series, just trying to get into that A main.
Sapp nearly spins, collects the 30 of Will Dravicki. Now Sapp up against the outside wall, can't get going. He is losing a ton of spots as now it's basically a 5-car race for these 4 spots as Cade Brown now sitting in the 5th position. Will Dravicki has fallen quite a ways behind.
So Cade Brown, he is the only guy right now that has a shot at Aaron Johnson for that transfer position. He got a little contact from Johnson for that transfer spot. Will Cade Brown return the favor? Can he get back to the 21 driver?
Aaron Johnson in that 4th and final transfer spot. We work lap 19 of 26 right now. Still green flag racing. Dave Coursol, Daniel Sweat, Latham Joyner, Aaron Johnson, your transfer positions as they stand. But Cade Brown has something to say about it right now in that 5th spot and closing right now on the 21.
He's trying to get there, Jeff. He's within a car length, half a car length now, almost to the bumper of that 21 machine. Just 6 laps remaining, make it 7. So he is right there, going to put pressure on Aaron Johnson down the back straightaway and into turn 3.
Cade Brown sticking the nose there. He's going to get into the back of the 21, spin the 21 car. Caution is going to wave, and I think that's going to be bad news for Cade Brown there.
Yeah, we watched that happen. I don't even think we need to replay, but we will. We'll give you guys a replay really quick. That just looks like contact between the 16 and the 21 as they went into the corner. Just gets Aaron around. That's bad news for 2 cars. Aaron Johnson falls to the back of the field. Cade Brown falls to the back of the field.
So that is going to open up the door for Will Dravicki as Cade Brown has gone ahead and just called it a night. He's not even going to try to go to the rear of the field. Decided to go ahead and just park that car. Aaron Johnson going to fall to the rear of the field. That is just a tough break for Aaron, who he didn't make the race last night, was really seemed to be struggling here at Martinsville, finding speed, and he almost was in. He was in a transfer spot with just a few laps to go and not going to make the feature event as it stands right now. Will Dravicki going to move up into that 4th spot.
So drama tonight in our B mains in the Daniel Williamson Memorial, 1 at 26. Make it B main number 1. Jeff, we'll take a look at those points once again. I believe Dave Corsall is in the battle for that points championship with Daniel Sweat. So right now, Dave Corsall, the B main points title, he's trying to make up a little bit of ground on Daniel, who's running right behind him.
Yeah, that'll be big for Dave Corsall if he can hold on to that position over Daniel Sweat. Looks like we're going to go back to green flag racing, and I think we're over our time limit, so we're going to keep an eye on the flagman as well to see if we get a green-white checkered here. Dave Corsall off and away, and
he just
we are
waved
back
it,
to
Jeff. He just
yeah,
waved
that is it.
Checkered flag. Very odd how iRacing handles that in the heat races in the B mains. But looks like it's going to be Dave Corsall, Daniel Sweat, Lathan Joyner, and Will Dravicki. Those will be your transfer cars from B main number 1.
All right, Bill. Well, that is it in the books there. So Dave Corsall, Daniel Sweat, Lathan Joyner, Will Dravicki going to move on to the feature event tonight. B main number 2 coming at you on the pole in the 15. It'll be Braxton DeWeese. On the outside of him will be the 17 of Josh Oswald.
Starting in the 3rd position in the 31 machine, that is Brad Carpenter, and to his outside in the number 23, that's Jonathan Smith.
Starting in the 5th position will be the 17 of Tim Tripler. On the outside of him, the 212 of Jonathan Sanford.
Starting in the 7th position in the 81 car, that is Rick Rube, and to his outside in the 24, that's Ronald Cole.
Gary Bates going to start 9th in this B main with Casey Wiggins alongside in the 51.
Anthony Rennick will roll off 11th in the 21 car. To his outside in the 56, that's Josh Ingram.
Matt Owens going to start 13th. On the outside of him will be the 2 of JJ Chansey.
And shotgun on the field as it looks like Peter Fisher's not going to roll off the grid. It's the 93 car, that's James Paleski.
So we are going to start 15 cars in this second B feature. Going to take 4 to our A main. And Bill, again, some really fast drivers starting further back in the field. Rick Rube, one of those drivers, he's going to roll off in the 4th row. So he's going to have his work cut out for him as well. Ooh, and Paleski might have had an issue when he was warming the tires, spun out there.
Got her back straight, gonna tag the back of the field. Pace car's off.
And the guy's already making fun of him a little bit there for that one. They'll do that to you when you spin under caution. Pace car heading off the racetrack. Braxton DeWeese taking us green flag racing. B main number 2. He is waiting all the way to the start finish line. Gonna send him off now. DeWeese out front. Oswald into the 2nd spot.
Battles throughout the field up front. DeWeese has gotten away. Josh Oswald has gotten away. They're going to be side by side for 3rd. That's Brad Carpenter versus Jonathan Smith. They'll door each other into turn number 3. Here comes Tim Tripler in the 17. He's trying to make tonight's A main.
Tripler in the 47 up the inside. Actually, 17 car now for Tim Tripler up the inside. Here comes Rick Rube. Rube, remember, he started in the 4th row. He is getting around Jonathan Smith, and Smith just cannot find a gap to the bottom there. He is stuck on the outside.
Rick Rube to the bottom. He will go by Jonathan Smith. Terry Bates into the inside wall hard on the front straightaway. I'm not sure. Yes, we will get a caution. Looks like Josh Ingram got close enough to his nose. He was towards the rear of the field, Jeff, and you know what happens if you don't. get close to a car, that Barney won't throw that yellow flag, but he did. So we will get our night's first caution in the second B main event.
Yeah, we had a bit of a stack up there on the front straightaway, and Terry Bates, he checked up to avoid some contact with the 212 of Jonathan Sanford, who lifted because the car kind of came up the racetrack, and unfortunately Terry had a guy behind him, could not see what was happening. He got turned around on the front straightaway.
Take a look at that quickly on the replay. Sanford checked up. Oh, it was Anthony Rennick got in the back of the 98 car on that stack up.
And from Rennick's position, he can't see the cars ahead of him and ahead of Terry Bates, and you're not expecting guys to slow down on the front straightaway.
And it's so hard to see through the car in front of you in these super late models. We've shown what it looks like from the driver's seat before, and it is just so hard to see what's happening beyond the car that you're following. So if he checks up, that's a problem, and that's unfortunate for both cars. I mean, Terry does exactly what he needs to do, but Rennick just can't know that something's happening.
Yeah, so pace car going to head off the racetrack. We are double file Braxton Deweese, Josh Oswald on that front row, Brad Carpenter and Tim Tripler in the second row. Tripler holding on to that final transfer spot, and Braxton Deweese was shot out of a cannon on that restart, so he is gone and away out in the lead. Here comes Rick Rube looking for that fourth spot. Is Tripler stuck on the outside of Brad Carpenter?
Tripler on the outside. Here comes Rick Rube up the inside. He's going to look for that position. Now Tripler will clear him down into turn one. Doesn't slam the door. Here comes Rube to the inside.
Rube keeping that car pinned to the bottom. Almost got the curbing down there on the inside. Got to be careful about getting that curve. And he is trying to take away this fourth spot. Runs up the racetrack a bit. Gets into Tripler. They are all going to spin. Jonathan Sanford is around. Jonathan Smith is around. And that is a big mess through 3 and 4.
Wow. Wow, a big mess in turns 3 and 4. You've got a bunch of cars that are parked. Let's see what happened to Rube. I think the same thing happened to Rube that happened to Elliot Carlson in the first B main event. He got on the gas really hard, or got on the brakes really hard, and the car just went straight.
Yeah, unfortunately, once you overdrive the corner, if you hit the brakes going into it to try to slow yourself down, it compounds the problem, and that front end just went away as he locked up the front brakes, and off he went into Tim Tripler.
Jonathan Sanford caught in that one as well.
So, Bill, that is going to mix the lineup a bit. It would be Deweese, Oswald, Brad Carpenter, and now Jonathan Smith up into that fourth position. Smith went around in that incident, but I think just about everybody got collected, so he was able to spin that car back around, keep going, hold on to the fourth spot. So, break for Jonathan Smith. Now in that fourth spot, Braxton Deweese taking a green flag racing once again, off and away, and he has cleared Oswald by 3-4 car lengths. Once again, Carpenter spinning into one.
Carpenter sideways saves it. Now we've got Rennick around. Rennick's in trouble. He's going to bring out the yellow. Try to figure out what happened to Carpenter as they went into one. Looks like Carpenter might have just gotten hit by Chansey. Take a look at those guys. They came down the front straightaway so we can get a better camera angle on this one.
Yeah, Chansey gets into the back of Carpenter, turns him sideways. That forced the 51 of Wiggins up the racetrack to avoid Carpenter, and he ends up collecting the 21 of Rennick. So a couple of different cars getting turned sideways there. That triggers a caution, and we're going to have to make a call on whether Chansey was at fault in that one.
A lot of guys did a great job. I mean, it's the yellow does not end up coming out for Carpenter. But yeah, it definitely gets into the back of Chansey. Definitely got back into the back of Carpenter, but it ends up being, I mean, that's just mayhem after that initial contact. But definitely, Chansey definitely went in and just drove it in too deep. He got into the back of the 31 car.
Well, the way it's all going to sort out, Braxton Deweese is going to end up in the lead still. Josh Oswald's second. Brad Carpenter is going to get his spot back. He's going to restart third. Jonathan Smith will restart fourth. JJ Chansey fell back to the fifth spot because the caution basically freezes the field. It reverts back a lap.
Except for the cars that kind of got really sideways, and then with Carpenter not actually spinning that car, that 31 car, he gets his spot back. These guys look like they want to double up. No, sir. It's going to be a single file restart as they did not complete a lap.
Yeah, no laps completed there, single file restart. So if you're the fourth place car like Jonathan Smith is, it's kind of a break. You want to restart on the inside and single file. That'll be a break for him. If you're JJ Chansey, you don't like that at all because now you have lost a chance at maybe getting underneath the 23 here on this restart. Braxton DeWeese back out front in this one, and man, trouble going into turn one. I saw the 17 of Tim Tripler way up the racetrack. They are 3 wide down the back straightaway. Tripler's in the wall, gonna hold on to it, but he is losing positions quickly.
Tripler to the back of the field, climbed the wall in that 17, and he is all the way back. Now Ronald Cole having trouble in the 24. He's up the hill just a little bit. Here comes Rick Rubin, the 81. Out front, Braxton DeWeese making it look easy as he's got a nice 7 to 8, almost 8/10 of a second lead already on the 17 car, Josh Oswald.
Yeah, DeWee's done a great job on restarts right now, and he's been able to walk away from Oswald Carpenter comfortably in third, Jonathan Smith fourth. It's a ways back to JJ Chansey, who's starting to lose touch with the 23. He's got a mirror full of the 51 of Casey Wiggins. Wiggins starting to run down this 2 car as well for the 5th spot, but these two are going to watch the transfer spot. Jonathan Smith start to drive away.
Yeah, they need to make moves in those 2 blue and black machines. Cool looking paint scheme on Wiggins this week. He's got we got Tripler. It was on the bottom of the racetrack. Is able to get off before we get a yellow. Tripler unfortunately done for the evening in that 17 machine.
Jonathan Sanford trying to get underneath the 56. That's Joshua Ingram. Ingram got up the racetrack there on exit at turn 4. Sanford wasn't able to get the run and not able to pull alongside the 56. So right now Ingram kind of using that outside line that we saw last night start to come in, and he was able to hold on to that position.
So right now out front you have the top 4 cars all spread out. So those 4 guys look to transfer into this A main event. JJ Chansey losing touch with the rear end of Jonathan Smith. Casey Wiggins can't make a move either. Here comes James Paleski in the 93. We really haven't talked about James other than the fact he had issues on the initial pace lap, but his car's pretty clean. That 93 looks good, and he's trying to make moves on Casey Wiggins.
Yeah, James started deep in this B main. I think just about the last row did not have a great qualifying effort. Seems to, we talked to him a couple weeks ago. He seemed like he was really struggling with qualifying, can't find the speed. And Rick Rube had an issue coming off turn 4. He was sideways. He is off the pace right now. He is losing a lot of time with the rest of the field as Anthony Rennick going to catch the 81 car. And Rube now into the 12th spot. Trouble with Casey Wiggins. James Paleski get together. Down the front straightaway, they bang doors a bit. Now the 93 gets by the 51 as Wiggins going to lose a spot there. Now Paleski going to try to put the pressure on the 2.
He has a 24 machine. That's Ronald Cole. He's going to pull his car into the pit lane. Looks like he is going to be done for the evening as well. Let's jump back to James Paleski as he continues to put pressure. He's to the inside of Wiggins once again.
Yeah, Wiggins made some contact with Paleski there, was able to get to the outside of him. Not able to complete the pass, though, so the 51 still stuck behind the 93 here as Paleski running 6th. Ahead of him is JJ Chansey in the 5th position, and it is a ways forward to that 4th and final transfer spot. So right now they're hoping for a caution to maybe bunch this field back up.
Yeah, JJ Chansey has completely lost touch with Jonathan Smith. They're almost not even in the same corners. Now contact, and JJ Chansey's going to go hard into the outside wall. It looks like Paleski might have gotten into the rear of the number 2 car.
Yeah, contact there in the center of the corner, and we're going to have to take a good look at that one. To me, it looked like Chansey was up the racetrack a bit, and the 93 tried to fill the gap, just wasn't quite enough room there in the center of the corner. Ended up giving a tap to the 2 right in the left rear quarter panel.
Yeah, just barely a touch from the 93, but enough to send the number 2 around, and he goes hard in the outside wall. Not what Jonathan Smith wanted to see.
No, not at all. That is going to bunch this field back up. Bill Pace car is off the racetrack. We are set to go back to green flag racing in this B main double file. And Braxton DeWeese once again gets a fantastic restart. He is off and away in that 15 car.
Battle for that final transfer spot. There's Brad Carpenter on the bottom. Here comes Jonathan Smith on the top, and James Paleski is still there in the fray as they make Brad Carpenter and Jonathan Smith make contact. Here comes Paleski to the inside for the final transfer position.
Paleski up the inside of the 23, trying to take away that final transfer spot. He is going to do it. Here comes Casey Wiggins. Wiggins going to make contact with the 23. Jonathan Smith in the wall. Trouble for the 23 car.
Wow, big hit for the 23 of Jonathan Smith. And there's your checkered flag. You can see DeWeese, your winner. Josh Oswald and Brad Carpenter. And it's going to be, looks like it's going to be James Paleski transferring into the A main event. So mayhem in both B mains, just so hard to get into these races. Huge B main field, 17 cars, 16 cars in each B main. And now these guys are going to go out for their 2-minute warm-up session. The A main transfer cars along with the A main cars that came out of qualifying. And they'll try to get their timing back down. They'll get 2 minutes to go out and make a lap or two. We'll get ready to go tonight for 126 laps in the Daniel Williamson Memorial 126.
Yeah, these drivers have been sitting watching the B mains for quite a while there. So about 20-30 minutes since they've been on the racetrack. Now they just got to get out on the track, kind of see what has changed. This iRacing does kind of lay down rubber as the cars run around the racetrack. So things will have changed. The grip levels will change. The temperature's going down as the sun sets. So a lot of things going on. These guys need to get out and just get some laps kind of figured out. And they only get 2 minutes to do it.
Yeah, for me, it would be a timing thing, and I've talked to drivers. Sometimes they take it for granted and think that they shouldn't do it, shouldn't go out, don't need to go out. And then you hear from them later, and you're like, oh, yeah, I really needed to go out there. I needed to get my timing back, and, that's what this gives them an opportunity to do. But here they are out here practicing very quickly. Jeff, we'll go ahead and take a look at the trademark performances from last week. We have Blaze Brinkley, the rookie there in our points leader in that number 11 machine. He finished second last week at Oxford. Felix Gratton was your winner. Felix Gratton back out here tonight. Ian Martin on that as well. He finished third. And your hard charger, Matthew Barkhouse, who ended up picking up 17 positions. He drove all the way from his 21st starting position to fourth. So those are your trademark performances at Oxford from week 6.
Yeah, moving up 17 positions at Oxford, not an easy task. So congratulations to Matt Barkhouse on that one. That was pretty impressive there. We saw some great racing last week at Oxford and last night at Martinsville in the late model shootout series. A fantastic race, a lot of green flag racing, and then just a wild finish as Brett Suggs able to get by Thomas Axum in the closing stages. Axum hit that inside curb, and that's all it took to open up the door. And we're going to have to keep an eye on that tonight, whether that inside curb is going to bite somebody once again. Well, Bill, we are getting set to go for tonight's A main event. It'll be once again another Daniel Williamson Memorial 126 here for round number 7 of the Late Model Challenger Series. And can you believe it again? Del Mears has caught another invert. Qualified 6th, invert was 6th. He will be on the pole for tonight's feature event in the 112. It'll be Del Mears on the outside of him. In the 26 car will be Bo Ledbetter.
Starting in third in the number 5, that is Magnum Tate. And to his outside, also in a number 26 car, that is another Daniel Williamson machine. That's Caleb Hall.
Starting 5th tonight, but he will have an EOL to begin tonight's event. There'll be the 39 of Bill Martin. On the outside of him will be the 9 of Grayson Ward.
Starting in the 7th position in the 34 car, that is Kelsey Rogers. And to his outside in the 81, that's Josh Kosick.
Starting 9th in tonight's feature event will be the 18 of Donald Clark. On the outside of him, last week's winner at Oxford, the 6 of Felix Gratton.
Starting in the 11th position in the 11 car, that is your points leader. That is Blaze Brinkley, coming off a 3rd place run last night with the Late Model Shootout Series. And on his outside, new car for him this week in the 16, that's Dustin Momberquette.
Starting 13th tonight will be the 24 of Noah Allison. On the outside of him in that bright yellow machine, the 75 of Mike Alexander.
Starting in the 15th position in the 16 car, that is Blaine Edwards. And to his outside in the 17, that's AJ Rogers.
Starting 17th tonight will be the 18, that is John Philippe Bergeron. On the outside of him in the 15 car, it's Matt Barkhouse.
Starting in the 19th position in that 54. That is your first B main winner. That's going to be Dave Corsall, and 2 is outside. The other B main winner, that's Braxton DeWeese.
Starting 23rd tonight, the 07 of Daniel Sweat on the outside of him. I think it's his first A main in the Challenger Series. The 17 of Josh Oswald.
Starting in the 23rd position with his first week with this series, that's Latham Joyner, and 2 is outside in the 31. That's Brad Carpenter.
Starting 25th tonight will be the 30 of Will Dravicki, and shotgun on the field, making the race. The last car in, the 93, that is James Paleski.
Well, Jeff,
Bill up.
Go ahead, you can say it.
I was going to say, out front right now, a pair of 26 cars. The last car that Daniel Williamson ever ran on iRacing, that paint scheme, the bright yellow, the blue. It's a memorable one for a lot of us. We all had a long time racing with him on iRacing. He left a lot of friends behind when he passed last year, and we just want to take a couple laps here to remember Daniel Williamson. And he was a fantastic racer, a good friend of many, and he is deeply, deeply missed. Bill, those 2 drivers are going to fall back in the line. That is Bo Ledbetter and Caleb Hall there, rocking the paint scheme for Daniel Williamson, the 26 machines. They are going to get set back into our grid and get ready to go for tonight's Daniel Williamson Memorial 126. 126 laps here at Martinsville Speedway on the pole. The 112, that is Del Mears once again. Man, Bill, have you seen anybody be so lucky in one season to get so many inverts and get the pole?
I cannot. That is unbelievable that Dell keeps nailing it, but good for him. And he just did an upgrade on his sim racing equipment this week, so we'll see what the 112 has for these guys. He's still getting used to driving it. He's never driven force feedback before, and now he's got it for the first time. So to some of you that are watching, they're probably going, are you kidding me? Yeah, he was with the Turner Super Wheel, never had force feedback, and now he's got direct drive. So we'll see how Dell can do in that 112 car. Jeff, do you want to make a quick pick, see what we got tonight?
Well, I think I'm going to have to go a little bit further back into the field, but I like that 18 car tonight. I'm going to go with Donald Clark.
I'm picking a Daniel Williamson car, Jeff. Bo Ledbetter for the win.
All right, pace car lights are out. Here we go. Green flag racing. The 112 Del Mir is going to fire them off. We are green flag for the Daniel Williamson Memorial 126. A little contact further back in the field. We're going to watch him try to get through turn 1. It's going to be wild here. 26 cars.
They are 3 wide in the middle of this field. Holy cow, I saw a couple of cars. It looked like it was Blaine Edwards to the bottom. He made a move. Now he's side by side with Mike Alexander. Oh, Donald Clark having some issues. He made a slip off of turn number 4. He's back in line. Still side by side as we go through turns 1 and 2.
Clark was able to hold on to it. He did lose a spot to Blaze Brinkley. Brinkley had that fantastic run last night in his late model shootout series debut. Ran 3rd. He is already up to the 9th spot. Here comes Magnum Tate. We haven't seen much of Magnum Tate in this series.
Oh, Jean-Philippe Bergeron around on the front straightaway, Jeff. Sorry, didn't mean to cut in on you there, but Bergeron went around, looked like maybe on his own. The 18 car, and Paleski is around as well in the 93 as he's on the inside wall. Take a look at what happened to those guys. Didn't mean to cut you off there, Jeff. Sorry, just a little bit of trouble.
You're fine. Caution waves in the 18 car, Jean-Philippe Bergeron. It looked like he just caught the curbing coming off the corner there. And just sent that car around. He ended up collecting the 93 of James Paleski. Paleski got on the brakes, and that car got sideways and ended up nosing her into the fence a little bit there as well.
And Paleski did even a little more damage to that 93 car as he turned it around and drove it into the inside wall as well. James clearly frustrated, probably with himself. That was just unfortunate with what happened to him. But we saw some guys last night, Jeff, had issues with the curb, getting these cars unsettled. A couple of veterans made those mistakes.
Yeah, and guys that don't normally make mistakes, like Daniel Pope and Thomas Axum, They got
I didn't
down
want
on
to call him out by name, but you go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they know who they are. They got down on those curbs, and it doesn't take much to upset the balance of this race car. And once you do, those are big bumps. They are massive curbs down there. And once you get on them, it's hard to hold on. And John Philippe gonna find that out there as he's gonna head to the rear of the field and that 18 car.
So out front, Del Mears was passed by Bo Ledbetter for the top spot. So they have swapped the front row. It's going to be interesting how iRacing called that, Jeff. I don't know when the yellow came out, but I'm pretty sure because there was a car wreck before we got back to the start-finish line. Actually, we were able to make a lap, so that was on lap 2. So they will go back to double file restart, so we will swap that front row.
Yeah, I went back to just kind of see what happened there. Bo Ledbetter was able to get around Del Mears right off the start. So fantastic run off the outside for Bo Ledbetter, able to get to the race lead. Bo actually, he was asking on the radio whether the leader gets lane choice. They do, in fact, get lane choice. So Bo Ledbetter are going to choose the outside.
Wow, that one's a little bit surprising. So probably thinking he can get a good jump, and then he's going to try to get the arc down into turns 1 and 2, get a nice run off of the corner. But if he doesn't clear Dell, if Dell gets a good restart in that 1-1-2 machine, that's going to make an interesting turns 1 and 2 for Bo Ledbetter. Puppies in the booth, by the way, Jeff. Puppies in the booth.
So we are going to go double file here as pace car lights are going to go out. Bo Ledbetter are going to choose that outside. Del Mears on the inside. Magnum Tate in that third spot in the number 5. We were just talking about him before that caution came out. I haven't really seen much of Magnum, newcomer to the series, having a fantastic run here in the 5 to start. Caleb Hall in the 26 car, usually in the 01. So he running that special Daniel Williamson pace scheme. Might not be too familiar with Caleb Hall, but he's been around for a while. Ooh, trouble for Hall on the green. Everybody spinning
Kelsey
the
Rogers.
tires.
Oh, we got Latham. Latham Joyner in the back had issues. We go yellow again. We didn't even get the restart there. Before we even got to the start-finish line, Latham Joyner had issues in the 3. Take a look and see what happened to him. But Jeff, there was a whole stack up there because I think it would look like tire spin.
Yeah, just a couple guys spinning the tires coming to the green, and even some of the drivers up front. Caleb Hall was sideways. Del Mears kind of missed the start, just never really got rolling. Just everybody seemed to really struggle there getting green.
Oh boy. So Latham Joyner spun the tires and got himself sideways. He ended up running into or getting hit by a car, so he's got some left front damage. Unfortunately, right at the end, Jean-Philippe Bergeron comes in and kind of cleans out the number 3, spins him back around after the 3 had already gotten rolling. So that's kind of unfortunate for both of those drivers. That's going to lead to a single file restart. Boy, we last night we had some great racing. We made it 26 laps before we had a yellow flag, any kind of issues on the racetrack. But tonight, not the case, as we are having we're having a hard time getting any kind of green flag runs, as these guys unfortunately aren't able to get started here before something happens on the racetrack.
Well, we've seen in the past the single file restarts kind of spread everybody out, get us going on the green. Get us some green flag laps. So hopefully here, these guys do not complete a lap, so they're going to go single file, and we're thinking that's probably going to spread the field out, get them some green flag racing here to get this thing going. And right now, Bo Ledbetter out front in command of this one. Del Mears second. The 26 of Caleb Hall running in that third spot. Magnum Tate fourth, and we are off and away. Bo Ledbetter taking us back to green flag racing.
Delmire's up the hill a little bit, and that 112 machine didn't quite get off the corner, so Bo Ledbetter going to get a nice restart. Delmire's going to be running in second spot. He's got Caleb Hall and that other Daniel Williamson machine behind him. Here comes Magnum Tate in the 5. Right behind them, Grayson Ward, a winner so far this season in that 9 car.
Blaze Brinkley and Kelsey Rogers having a battle further on in the field. This is battle for 9th on the racetrack right now. Brinkley underneath the 34. Rogers up the racetrack. Here comes Mike Alexander. He's going to try to take advantage, but I think Rogers going to be clear into 3.
Rogers able to get back around Mike Alexander. That was a battle for the 11th, actually 10th position. Moved Blaze Brinkley up to 9th. Blaze Brinkley wasn't able to qualify last night very well in that 11 car, but was able to drive through the field, drive all the way up to 3rd in the late model shootout series. So we know he has speed. So we'll have to watch him and see what he can do all night long.
Yeah, going to have to keep an eye out for that 11 car because he was flying at the end of last night's race. And once again, he's got a little bit of extra track time. Trouble for Noah Allison coming off turn 4. The 24 is off the pace. He's losing positions. Trying to get back up to speed, he will, but he's going to fall all the way back to the 18th spot.
A lot of strung out race cars on the racetrack. Brad Carpenter up the racetrack in the 31 car. He's back in the 24 spot. He just lost a couple spots to Jean-Philippe Bergeron and Latham Joyner in the 3. They go by. Behind them, Josh Oswald and James Paleski bringing up the rear in that 93 machine. A lot of damage on that car. Then you can see the leader. We have puppies in the booth again. We can see the leader behind James Paleski as he's already on the same straightaway.
Caleb Hall really putting the pressure on Del Mears for the 2nd position. Mears maybe holding up the 26 a little bit early on in this one. Bo Levitt starting to drive away from this pack. And right now the 26, he's got Magnum Tate behind him. Grayson Ward in the 9 car. He is currently sitting in the 5th position. So field kind of lining up right now behind Del.
Dustin Mombriquette and Felix Stratton, they're battling right now as they come off of turn 2. Mombriquette took a peek underneath Felix Stratton down the straightaway last time by. Wasn't able to make the move, but he's letting Stratton know he's there. You can see there's a gap building between Grayson Ward and Felix Stratton, so Mombriquette might think that he doesn't want to lose touch with that front group.
Yeah, we saw different strategies come into play last night. Some drivers decided to save early. Some wanted to get right out front. Axum was one of those drivers. He got out front early on and tried to drive away as much as he could, and right now that's what Bo Ledbetter is trying to do in that 26 car. He is trying to get away from the field, and he's done so right now about 0.6 of a second over Del Mears, and Del has got a mirror full of Caleb Hall right now. Hall really having the best run we've seen from him in quite a while in the Challenger Series, running 3rd, and he is really putting the pressure of the 112.
You're not seeing double as you see that, I guess, more of a yellow 26, not that bright highlighter yellow that Bo Ledbetter's got on his car. The other 26 car, he is trying to make it up to 2nd. Would be what kind of a thing is now Caleb Hall having a little bit of trouble. Magnum Tate started to take a look to the inside in that 5 machine.
Yeah, Tate took a peek there underneath the 26, and now the 26 able to chase down Del Mears. He's going to dive underneath him going into turn 1. Mears gives him the inside, getting the 112 hold on. We saw drivers last night, really as the race went on, that outside started to become really dominant. And we're seeing right now Del Mears maybe just doesn't have the grip up there quite yet.
Yeah, I think they have to wear out the bottom. We did talk to some of the drivers afterwards, though, and they said that there had to be more of an accordion effect on the bottom for the top to really fight back. It was early in runs that you could make moves on the top. But, ooh, Magnum Tate almost making contact with Del Mears onto the back straightaway. Is now Magnum Tate going to try to take that position. So move Tate up to 3rd, Del Mears back to 4th, and now Grayson Ward slips coming off of turn 4. Del Mears back in line.
That also brought Felix Stratton and Dustin Mombriquette into this line of cars. So add a couple more here in this front pack is Felix Stratton, last week's winner, is currently running 6, and he is right behind the 9 of Grayson Ward. Dustin Mombriquette gets hit from behind, sideways, holds on to it, but he's going to lose a couple spots.
Wow, he got a shot from Josh Kosick through the middle of turns 3 and 4. Knowing Mombriquette, he's really not happy about that one. You see that's a Maconi setup shop car in that 16. Really nice paint scheme as he gets into the wall. So Mombriquette needs to find his rhythm and get going in that 16 car, just get back in line.
Yeah, the 16 now stuck on the outside as Kelsey Rogers is there underneath him. And now Mombriquette, just things have gone from bad to worse here. And now he's stuck on the outside line with Rogers on the inside. And he's watching those guys that just got around him drive away.
Side-by-side battle through turns 3 and 4. We're watching this with Marquette and Kelsey Rogers. Marquette going to try to do a crossover down the front straightaway. Can't make it happen, but he'll at least drop in the line. Here comes Donald Clark in the 18. He'll put a move on Mike Alexander. Now Alexander gets in the back of Donald Clark. I think he was going to try to do a crossover, but Clark did a good job keeping that car in the bottom. Also did a good job keeping that car straight, and he'll take that 11th spot.
Yeah, I saw Mike power up there coming off the corner, and I thought for sure we were about to have a wreck, but Donald Clark holds on and actually gave him a nice shot to get down the straightaway, so the 18 kind of drove away from Mike Alexander there, and Donald Clark into the 11th spot, Mike Alexander back to 12th. Blaine Edwards currently behind that battle in 13th. Dave Corsell there in the 54, he came out of a B main. He is currently running 14th on the racetrack. Behind him is AJ Rogers running 15th.
Marquette putting all kinds of pressure right now on Kelsey Rogers, but cannot show the nose to the 34 car. Just on his bumper, can't make the move. He's got to find a way. I think he thinks he's faster, but he has to remember he did get some damage when he hit that outside wall. You can see that 16 car not perfect right now.
While we were watching that battle, Felix Gratton has made a move on Del Mears. He has moved up into the 5th spot. Felix started 10th, and that car is charging quickly to the front. Felix Gratton now up into the 5th spot. Del Mears back to the 6th position. Now he is under fire from Josh Kosick in the 81.
Last time we saw Josh Kosick, he was getting into the back of Dustin Marquette, moving him up the racetrack. So Kosick probably needs to make this one a little cleaner. He's getting back to that 1-1-2 machine at Del Mears. Del Mears sideways off of turn 4. That's going to be a problem as he is going to lose positions. He drops back to 8th place. Brinkley will go by, Kosick will go by, and he'll slot in front of Kelsey Rogers in that 34 car.
So Del Mears back to the 8th spot. Kelsey Rogers sitting 9th. Dustin Marquette in the top 10 there in the 16 car. Here comes Donald Clark, and man, this whole field is starting to line back up and stack back up. Just the top 2 have pulled away, and everybody else is single file. And now I just saw Grayson Ward make some contact with the back straightaway wall. A little trouble there for the 9, who's running 4th on the racetrack.
Marquette might be trying something in the 16. He just jumped out of line going into turn 3. Maybe he was looking to the outside, but he lost a bunch of ground doing that. Donald Clark almost made the move, and now Marquette all over the back of Kelsey Rogers once again as Kelsey Rogers started to put pressure on Del Mears.
Looks like Mears having a little trouble rolling the center of the corner. That car kind of washed up on him in the middle of 3 and 4. Almost opened up the door for Kelsey Rogers. And you can see Del just not able to keep that car pinned down as low as everybody else on the racetrack right now.
Battle for that 3rd position. Magnum Tate getting some pressure from Grayson Ward. Ward all over the back of the number 5. Magnum Tate doing a nice job. We haven't seen Magnum much. I think he tried to qualify into the Dover race. I don't think he made it. It was close. Tonight, up in the top 5 right now at Martinsville.
Yeah, Magnum Tate did not make it into that Dover race. That was his first start with the Challenger Series. Did not make the feature event, and now here he is running in the top 5 in his 2nd attempt. So that's just how competitive this series is. You can win one week and not make the show the next. We talk about it every week. 49 drivers here at Martinsville try to make 26 spots. It is an accomplishment just to be in this race right now.
Yeah, every week we put almost 50 cars in the racetrack, and then we only start about 24 to 28. So just to be in this event that you're watching, like Jeff said, it is an accomplishment. So these guys, they do remember that. They do know that it is hard just to get in the same main, but they want to do better. They want to get up to the front.
So we have really started taking off the laps here as we have had a couple cautions early on. Went back to green about lap 18, and now at lap 40 we have been green since. And now Magnum Tate under pressure from Grayson Ward. Ward in the 9 car starting to peek underneath the 5 now.
He will jump inside on the visor cam with Grayson Ward as we see what he sees. As he is trying to make a move on Magnum Tate. All over the back bumper, that Krispy Kreme Donuts number 5. Maybe gives a little tap through 3 and 4. Can't make it happen. So head down the front straightaway now. Grayson Ward going to do the over-under. Try to get underneath him coming down the backstretch. Can't get the power to the ground. Fix setups, Jeff. That's what happens. You just don't have it. He's got what you have when you try to come off the corner.
Hey, Grayson Ward and that Elite Performance Machines, number 9, trying to find a way around the 5 car right now. And he's trying some different lines. You can see him really opening up the entry of his corners, trying to swing that car in and get the run off. But right now, Magnum Tate doing a great job, just kind of running the bottom, doing what he needs to do. Maybe saving a little tires. You know, he's not in a position where he needs to run down the leaders right now. Just save some tires and hope for a caution later.
Yeah, Grayson Ward definitely not doing that right now in the 9. He wants buys. We get a caution.
Daniel Sweat is around on the front straightaway in the 07. He was running in about 19th on the racetrack, and something happened there as Del Mears was off the pace, and Daniel Sweat checked up to avoid Del Mears, and he ended up turning around.
Taking a look at our replays, they are in turns 3 and 4. But Del Mears up the racetrack, and again, I think that's just a situation. Will Dravicki gets in the back of the 07 car, but I don't think he could see anything. We'll try to figure out. Matthew Barkhouse and Del Mears had an issue prior to this happening.
Yeah, it was
Del Mears. It looks like Del Mears and Donald Clark made contact entering turn 3.
Yeah, Donald tried to take a peek underneath the 112 going into turn 1, and the 112 was coming down the racetrack, and they just made contact. That actually kind of caught up the 75 and the 16 as well.
So kind of no harm, no foul with the Donald Clark Del Mears situation. Just checked everybody up, but then continued to check everybody up. And the spotters, normally if you had a live spotter, they'd say there's an issue coming off turn 4. Will Dravicki not able to see what's going on. And couldn't see through the car. Daniel Sweat gets in the back of Daniel Sweat, spins him off the corner.
So under caution here, our third caution, lap 47, had a nice green flag run, and that's going to set up a double file restart between our 26 cars here on the front row. Bo Ledbetter going to take the top. He has already chosen top side of the racetrack, going to put Caleb Hall on the bottom in the other 26 machine. That'll be Magnum Tate in the third spot, Grayson Ward fourth, Felix Gratton fifth, Josh Kosick up into the sixth position, Blaze Brinkley seventh, Kelsey Rogers eighth, Dustin Monberquette ninth, Blaine Edwards now running 10th, Donald Clark, Mike Alexander, Dave Coursel, AJ Rogers, and Matt Barkhouse, your top 15 cars. So base car off the racetrack, and you're getting set to go back to green flag racing. Ledbetter on the outside gets to control this restart. He's getting shoved by the 9 of Grayson Ward, and he is off and away. Now trouble.
Oh! Donald Clark upside down into the outside wall. Yellow is out. If we had reds, we'd have one of those too. But Donald Clark, holy cow. Jeff, did you see what started that? That was violent.
Well, there were some cars that took off further in the back, and it started right behind Donald Clark. Matt Barkhouse got into the back of Dave Coursel, sent the 54 up into Mike Alexander. He hooked Donald Clark, and just a massive wreck.
Oh my goodness. I think the good news is Donald Clark probably didn't take a tremendous amount of damage from this. He does get into the outside wall pretty hard with the nose of his car. But it could have been way worse. But what happens with Matthew Barkhouse? It's like he goes before we were going.
Yeah, he was trying to time it, and he took off, and nobody in front of him had gone yet. And he ran right in the back of the 54.
I think Coursol did it as well. Like, everybody was starting to go. They were really antsy on that restart. Everybody was jumping, trying to make, get a good restart. Just, you can see the damage on the left front of Matthew Barkhouse.
So a lot of trouble there. That's going to trigger another single file restart. And these guys just kind of struggling here on the double file. And that one just coming to the green. It seemed like everybody was just on the throttle a little too early. Again, Bo Ledbetter gets to set the pace, and everybody else wanted to go before the leader did.
So Bo Ledbetter going to be in the top spot. Grayson Ward was able to get by Caleb Hall for that second position, so he will be in your second spot, and we should expect him to start on the inside as Ledbetter's been picking the outside on the restarts. Actually, I lie. He'll start in second because we're going to go single file restart on this one. Lights are still on the pace car. Running third in that other 26 Daniel Williamson machine, that is Caleb Hall. Magnum Tate in the 5. He's running in your 4th spot. Josh Kosick up to the 5th spot in the 81 machine. Felix Gratton 6. Blaze Brinkley, your points leader, he is 7th. Dustin Momberquette in that white and gold number 16. He's running in 8th. Kelsey Rogers in the 34 machine. He is 9th. Blaine Edwards in the 16. He is running in at the 10th spot. Bladen, by the way, ran last night. Didn't feel very good about his car. He talked to him a little bit about it today, and wasn't loving the super late model right now. It feels like he's struggling a little bit. So tonight, not doing too bad as he's running in the top 10. Familiar number 72, former champion of the series, back in the 10th spot, running to number 16 now.
So our right pace car going to head off the racetrack. It'll be a single file restart once again. This time, Bo Ledbetter out front. Grayson Ward up into that second position. Caleb Hall 3rd. Magnum Tate 4th. The 81 and Josh Kosick back there. Now trouble again as Kosick is going to get turned coming to the green.
Don't know what happened there, but he has got big problems. He's going to drop back all the way to, it looks like, 11th spot. He'll be on the bottom. Mike Alexander up top. Kosick now has trouble. He's got a lot of left front damage on that 81 car. He's going to slide it in front of the 75 with Mike Alexander, right behind Dave Corsall. Corsall up to that 10th spot out of the B main.
Grayson Ward now on the throttle behind. Bo Ledbetter trying to catch the 26. Ward started in the 6th position, your quick qualifier tonight here at Martinsville, and he is flying through this field already up into the 2nd position here, lap 56 of this 126 lapper.
Down into turn number 1. Bo Ledbetter had a nice, comfortable lead on that last run. Now he's got Grayson Ward all over his back bumper. Right behind him, Caleb Hall is there as well, but Grayson Ward looking fast in that number 9. We've seen it's been hard to pass here tonight as Grayson Ward was trying to get by Felix Gratton for a long time. Then he was trying to get by Magnum Tate. And Magnum Tate right there in the 4th position. Grayson just couldn't find a way around him, so we're going to have to see if Grayson can make a move on your leader.
Caleb Hall in that 3rd position in the other 26 machine, just riding right now behind this battle for the lead. Ward is all over the back bumper of Bo Ledbetter. Not going to take a look into turn 1, but he is starting to pick up the momentum. And off turn 2, he kind of gets to the back of Ledbetter. That's going to slow him down just a bit.
One of your B main winners, Braxton DeWeese, making moves. He just moved up into the 14th spot. I believe he just put a move on Noah Allison.
Here comes Brinkley up the inside of Felix Gratton into turn 1. Brinkley and Gratton battling for 5th on the racetrack. Brinkley coming from the rear of the field. He started in the 11th position, and he is now underneath the 6th. And if Gratton can't get back in line, he's got a couple cars lined up back there. That's Dustin Momberquette and the 34, Kelsey Rogers.
Gratton was last week's winner in that 6 car. It just shows you how different these cars can be every single week. Every track is different. Felix Gratton struggling a little bit in that 6. Here comes Momberquette in the 16. They're going to make contact off of turn 4. That's going to give Gratton an opportunity to get down in line. Momberquette not happy.
Yeah, he's going to put the bumper to the 6 car, and I don't think he liked that move there off the corner when Gratton kind of pinched him there. Got the 16 sideways, and he's going to pull back alongside Gratton now, try to clear the 6 of Felix Gratton. This is a battle for 6 on the racetrack right now. Momberquette remember, he lost a few positions earlier with some contact and got shoved up the racetrack, so he's trying to fight his way back up into the top 5.
Now through turns 3 and 4, they're still side by side. Here comes Kelsey Rogers in the 34. He's going to try to make the move as well. He gets a little bit sideways off the corner. Is he going to be able to clear the 6? He doesn't, but now the 6 slams the door entering turn 1.
So Felix Gratton back into the 7th position. Kelsey Rogers currently running 8th. You got Blaine Edwards in the 9th spot. Dave Corsel came out of a B main. Well, we keep seeing this from Dave Corsel. He doesn't qualify well, but he's so fast in the races. He's currently running 10th already.
Yeah, we talk about Dave and how he needs to. He's one of those guys that needs to learn how to qualify. Does not seem to have one lap speed, but when you put him in a race, the guy is unbelievable. He just moves forward all night long. He did it last night in the Late Model Shootout Series race, his first race in the series, finishing 7th. And tonight, moving forward as well, he's up to the top 10.
Bo Ledbetter still out front. Grayson Ward right behind the 26 car. They're starting to put some distance on Caleb Hall in that 3rd spot. Hall's starting to lose touch with your top 2 cars. Then it's a bit of a gap back to Magnum Tate. Magnum about 1 second behind Caleb Hall, running on the 4th spot. Lace Brinkley in that 5th position. Dustin Momberquette, Felix Gratton, Kelsey Rogers, Blaine Edwards, Dave Corsel, your top 10. Josh Kosick, who had that big moment on that last restart, currently running 11th. Mike Alexander behind him, AJ Rogers, Braxton DeWeese, and Noah Allison now in the top 15 spots.
So Noah Allison was able to put a move on Braxton DeWeese, moved the 24 up to the 14th spot. Braxton DeWeese now running 15th. Del Mears was just up the hill a little bit, and I think that was Braxton DeWeese going by him. Del able to get back in line in that 16th position. Will Dravicki there running in 17th. These smarts for some of these cars there, rubbing the wall down the front straightaway.
Blaze Brinkley is caught. Magnum Tate now starting to put the pressure on the 5. He's going to take a peek underneath him, going into turn 1. Tate going to give him the room. Dustin Momberquette going to try to follow through as well.
Momberquette to the bottom of the 5 of Magnum Tate. Tate up the hill. They might make they almost made contact through 3 and 4, so Tate's going to let him go. Momberquette, slot Momberquette up to the top 5. Magnum Tate back to 6th.
A little bit of a gap back to Felix Gratton, still running in that 7th position, trying to catch Magnum Tate. Now Tate kind of let the 11 and the 16 go. I think he recognized they were coming. They were a little bit faster than he was. He's not interested in battling too hard right now. Maybe just saving some tires on the 5 and having a solid run here in the top 10.
Yeah, this is a win for Magnum Tate right now. He's running with a lot of guys that he's not used to running with. It's one of those things when you run with a series, run with a league, you get used to the guys that are running around you. Magnum Tate just kind of out there with a bunch of people he doesn't know and doing a fantastic job in that number 5 machine.
One of the things we haven't really talked about tonight is just how competitive this series is. We have had 6 races in the series, 6 different winners, and Bo Ledbetter out front. He's trying to break that streak. He was a winner already this season. The guy behind him, Grayson Ward, he has a victory. He won at Dover. So the first car that hasn't won a race, the 3rd place driver right now, Caleb Hall. If anybody's going to do it tonight, it might have to be Caleb Hall as the caution waves. It looks like JP Bergeron around off of turn 2 in the 18.
This has not been John Philippe's night in the 18 car. See what happened to him. We'll see if we can get a good look at what happened to him down in turns 1 and 2. Might have gotten help from Bill Martin. That's going to be really, really tight.
I think it was a slight touch there, but definitely a touch. Just got into the back of JP.
Yeah, I think that was that collision box we've talked about. Where if you get into the car in front of you, it doesn't really look like much, and it doesn't even look like there might be contact there, but the way that these cars are built on the iRacing service, that's basically a box. You cannot tell that that car behind you is not getting into the back end of your car. It will spin you out. We'll take a look from that chopper cam. That's the County Road Custom chopper cam tonight. You can see that car just jumped sideways. That is not because he got loose. That is because he got contact. The collision box from the 39 to the 18 turned him sideways.
Yeah, we tell these guys you got to be careful. It's not a perfect science there. If you get too close to a guy's rear bumper, it's going to contact them, and these cars don't really have a lot of give. It's very rigid. Unlike a real late model, you'd have a little bit of give as the bumpers would give a little bit and bend and twist. And these cars, it's basically like hitting a wall, and that's what happened there. Once a little contact to the rear of the 18, that just turned that car sideways. So really in sim racing, you got to be a little bit, give a little bit of extra room. It's not a perfect science here on iRacing, so you just have to be aware, give a little bit extra room, and right there, Bill Martin just got in there a little too deep.
I'm a little surprised, Jeff. There's some cars in the field that are running towards the rear of the field. You see these guys doing the old trick again. We saw it last night. These guys driving down to the bottom, trying to get their tires cooled off on a line that isn't heated up. The theory there is that you get a little bit of grip out of your race car. But talking about some of these cars have damage, Jeff, and they're not really going in and pitting, even if you're farther back in the field with big damage. They're just kind of let it ride.
Well, interesting here, Bo Ledbetter, who had been choosing the outside, has now picked the inside for this restart. So the 26 on the inside this time, going to control this restart. He's going to drive the 9 car all the way up the racetrack.
Oh, and he gets a great restart as he's going to clear Grayson Ward down the front straightaway. Caleb Hall going to try to get into that second spot. Can't do it. He's going to be side by side with Blaze Brinkley. They're going to be too wide off of turn 2.
Double file racing all throughout the field right now as these guys try to sort it out. Caleb Hall got into Blaze Brinkley. Brinkley up the racetrack. He's going to lose a spot here to Momberket. Momberket on the inside. Brinkley, little contact with the 26 car, got shot up the racetrack. He's trying to hold on the outside.
We saw how fast Brinkley was last night on the outside. Was trying to do it again tonight in the Late Model Challenger Series, but a little bit of contact from that 26 machine sends him up the racetrack. Now he's got a battle with Momberket to try to get back down. Will he clear him in turn 1? He does not. They'll be side by side through 1 and 2.
Little contact there as Magnum Tate was throwing a block on Kelsey Rogers. Rogers got in the back end of him. Everybody holds on, but it might have given a scare to the guys behind him as they all kind of took evasive action. It looked like there was about to be a big incident going into turn 1. Everybody holds on, and we're still watching this battle with Dustin Momberket and Brinkley. Neither will give.
Yeah, Brinkley doing a phenomenal job on the top side, holding off the 16 car. You see he gets the momentum down the back straightaway, starts to clear the 16. Might have got a little bit of the wall. No slinger back into turn number 3. Now Momberket starting to win this battle, and here comes Felix Gratton in that 6 car. He's going to try to put some pressure on Brinkley.
Well, we have 3 wide further back in the field is Braxton DeWeese and the 54 of Dave Corsell. They were 3 wide with AJ Rogers. Everybody separates, and then there was a little bit of a 3 wide further back in the field, and some craziness as everybody's trying to get single file now. Back to Brinkley up there in the 5th spot, and actually caution is going to wave.
It was Braxton DeWeese, Jeff. We just talked about him racing. Something happened between him and possibly Dave Corsall going into turn 3. Not sure exactly what happened here, but we'll take a look on the replay.
And it looks like Corsall tried to get down in front of Will Jervicki, and I just don't think there was enough room there for the 54 to slot in front of the 30 car.
He's also getting a push from the 30 car down that back straightaway. He gets in there, and then Jervicki just hits him in the rear end, which ends up turning the 15 car. This happen here? See if we can get a chopper shot. We'll go back to the chopper. The Corsall, he does get in front of him, and then Jervicki just doesn't hit the brakes, just shoves him into the 15. That's a tough call, Jeff.
Yeah, the 54, he really did chop the 30 car, and I don't know if Will had a ton of time there to react to that one. Really just, I mean, Dave kind of put the 30 car in a bad spot there, trying to get in front of him. That is a tough call. I mean, he was clear, but I mean, he was right on his nose when he came down the racetrack.
Just watching Will Jervicki here as he got down the back straightaway. Probably didn't expect this move. It is a really, really late move.
Yeah, and if you're watching it from the 30s onboard, I mean, I don't think he cut him much of a break, but he also didn't really have a lot of time to react to that move.
Not a whole lot of time.
I think this is kind of a racing deal. 2 guys going for the same position at the same time.
Let's take a look at chat, Jeff. We haven't done that, I think, in a couple days. It's been so exciting here in Martinsville. Got a lot of people rooting for different people. Chris DeWeese rooting for Braxton DeWeese. Unfortunately, that was bad timing. Sorry, Chris. DeWeese just caught up in a situation there. Casey Wiggins in the chat, Jeff, bummed he didn't make it in the A main. So it's on to next week, Casey. We'll see what happens. We got Misty Ward saying go Grayson Ward. Wonder if there's a relation there. Charles Bennett saying go Grayson Ward. Tim Tripler tells us he loves us, Jeff.
Well, we love him too. The pace car going to head off the racetrack now. Bo Ledbetter, Grayson Ward on that front row once again. Got Caleb Hall and Dustin Bombercat in the second row. But Ledbetter got a little sideways coming to the green. He's going to hold on to the lead for now, but here comes Grayson Ward on the outside.
Ledbetter sideways into turn number 1, and Grayson Ward's on the outside. Here comes Caleb Hall in the other 26 car. Bombercat got sideways as well on that restart.
Caution is out.
A little bit of mayhem. We'll try to figure out where the caution came from. Daniel Sweat has an issue in turns 1 and 2. I see Braxton DeWeese also with an issue. We'll see what happened here.
Yeah, Daniel Sweat got hit from behind. I think it was JP Bergeron that was behind him, and John Philippe just kind of gets to the back of the 07, turns him sideways going into turn 1.
There we go, down into turn 1 on the replay. Jeff, we have a saying around here.
Yeah, C-car don't hit car situation there, and JP just maybe broke a little too late.
You gotta watch this one from in front of him. Daniel Sweat. And the worst part, the thing that seems to bother me all night long is once you get a guy jacked up inside. Oh, and Braxton DeWeese just came in there. And, well, there was a car there. I'm sure that was one of those A-pillar situations where you can't really see a car. But what I've been seeing, Jeff, is it feels like once somebody gets the guy sideways, he doesn't really check up for him to let him get back going. I saw the last 2 wrecks, Dave Corsall didn't really give Braxton DeWeese an opportunity to get back in and get his car back straight. Unfortunately, John Philippe Bergeron did the same thing that Daniel Sweat. Sweat was sideways, and then John Philippe finished him off.
Yeah, it could have been a situation there where everybody would have been able to keep going there, but just a little contact.
I think Daniel Sweat waiting for something. Looks like he's waiting for Braxton DeWeese. There's Del Mears out of the pits. Some of those guys getting some of that damage fixed on their race cars. DeWeese getting a little bit of bending that sheet metal back a little bit. Actually, one of these fiberglass bodies, but they bend like sheet metal.
Yeah, some of them already look like they've been through a war tonight. And
plastic that bends like sheet metal.
Yeah. Some heavy damage on a lot of the cars at the rear of the field is things have been a little rough on these restarts. It's been a battle trying to get in line, try to maintain your position.
Corey Bigley in the chat saying go Revelry Racing and Superior Performance Motorsports. Superior Performance Motorsports currently leads this race, Corey, so that's good news for your fandom. Tim Tripler says that's the nicest thing you can say right now, Jeff, that he loves us. I think that's the nicest thing you can say anytime, Tim, so thank you. Danny Ward says go Grayson Ward. A lot of Grayson Ward fans in the chat, Jeff.
Yeah, he brought a lot of fans out tonight and having a heck of a run right now in second, trying to find a way around your leader, Bo Ledbetter. Ledbetter going to take us back to green. He's got to be careful. They spun the tires big time last time, and Ledbetter got a great start this time. Now Caleb Hall gets some contact from Brinkley.
Wow, that was crazy. I cannot believe Caleb Hall saved that, but he's going to be up the racetrack in that car. Here goes Brinkley in the 3rd position. Here comes Bombercat. He's going to hunt for 4th. They're going to be side-by-side down into turns 3 and 4. Caleb Hall in defensive mode right now, so he got shoved out of that 3rd spot. Now he's looking to not drop back as all the cars are lined up behind him.
So Caleb Hall had some issues there on that restart. I went back to take a look at it, make sure the 11 didn't jump the restart. Looked like the 26 maybe missed a shift, did not get going. He got some contact, got him sideways, and that's what opened up the door for the 11 to get around them. And Felix Gratton sideways off turn 4. He's going to get the 0-1. Trouble down the front straightaway.
Holy cow, Caleb Hall into the outside wall. Things go from bad to worse for the 26 machine. Now here's Kelsey Rogers up the racetrack as there was a bunch of mayhem. And now Kelsey Rogers trying to block, and Mike Alexander gives him a gift as he just let him back in. Nice job by Mike Alexander. Here comes Josh Kosick rallying as he had some issues earlier. He's going to be underneath Blaine Edwards. They're battling for the 10th spot.
Saw an issue for Matt Barkhouse. He got up the racetrack as well. Looked like he maybe got hit. He has fallen all the way back to the 19th position, and he got shoved up the racetrack as well. So a lot of aggressive driving here in the middle of the field. Blaine Edwards sideways off turn 4. He's got Will Javicki behind him. He's trying to get around Noah Allison in the 24 car. Noah running in the 11th position. Blaine Edwards currently running 12th.
Actually, Noah just got by Blaine Edwards, so move Noah up into that 11th spot. He's making moves in that 24 machine. Now he's going to try to get back to, or get up to Josh Kosick, who's running around right now in that 10th position. A lot of aggressive driving happening through this field, Jeff. That's, you know why, Jeff. We're about to hit about 27 laps to go, so the price of poker's gone up.
Yeah, it is time to go. If you have anything left in the tank, you need to use it up. And right now, the 9 car, Grayson Ward, just stalking your leader, Bo Ledbetter. He is right there underneath the back bumper coming off turn 2. Had a great run that time through 1 and 2, and maybe just rolling the center a little bit better than Bo is. That pace that Bo's been setting, maybe using up the tires a little too much.
Gave him a little bump down the front straightaway. They're going to roll through turns 1 and 2. Grayson Ward stalking your leader. Boy, he drove it into turn 3.
Bo Ledbetter, a winner earlier this season at Hickory. Grayson Ward won at Dover. The guy behind them, that's Blaze Brinkley. He won at Nashville in the fairgrounds. So 3 former winners in this series. One of them trying to become the first repeat winner. The guy that's in 4th, he has no wins yet this year. He could become the 7th winner in 7 races. That's Dustin Momberquette.
So if you're rooting for the first-time winners on the season to continue, Momberquette's your man. As Caleb Hall issues in the 26, he is off the pace on the front straightaway. Something happened with him. We'll have to take a look. I have a feeling he ended up around.
Yeah, he got turned around. It looked like he got to the back of Mike Alexander. He tried to lift to let the 75 gather it back up, and the train behind him kind of ran him over.
Well, unfortunately, it looks like Caleb Hall's woes, boy, it went from bad to worse to worse to worse to horrible. As he was running around behind Mike Alexander. He'd been running 3rd all night long, but it looks like his issues start with his own contact. He was trying to make the move on Alexander. Alexander shuts the door. Caleb backs off and then gets into him. Unfortunately, then backs off to let him get straight. And that's why you don't let guys get straight, I guess, Jeff, because then you get tagged from behind.
Yeah, I mean, he did the right thing. You know, he tried to let Mike gather back up, but unfortunately, he had a train of cars behind him that just no time to react, and he just kind of ended up being the man in the middle that gets turned around. The accordion effect is what we like to call it.
So unfortunately for Caleb, he is in the back of the field. You see Del Mears. Del Mears was your pole sitter. Not having the night he is looking for, as he's running 24th in that 1-1-2. Out front, that was getting exciting. As Grayson Ward was putting all kinds of pressure on Bo Ledbetter.
Yeah, and this is going to really mix things up now because we are going to have a double file restart. Grayson Ward going to go to the outside as Bo Ledbetter has chosen the inside, and that's going to put Blaze Brinkley there in that 3rd spot. Dustin Momberquette now on the outside in 4th. Magnum Tate still running 5th. Felix Gratton 6th. Kelsey Rogers 7th. Mike Alexander 8th. Josh Kosick up to the 9th spot. Noah Allison now in 10th. We're getting set to go back to green flag racing. There's 20 laps to go in this one, and Bo Ledbetter out front.
Ledbetter bringing the field through turns 3 and 4. Pace cars off the track. Ledbetter back on the gas. Here comes Blaze Brinkley, and now Noah Allison around. Blaine Edwards is around. Big wreck in the back of the field.
Yeah, Noah Allison spun the tires coming back to the green, and it's just been a battle for the guys on the outside all night long to get going on these restarts, and they just keep overdoing it just slightly. The 24 up in the marbles when he hits the gas, and around she goes.
I don't know what happened up front. We'll have to check timing and scoring, but I think Blaze Brinkley might have gotten around Grayson Ward there, but we'll take a look and see what happens to Noah Allison. Oh, we saw that happen earlier with Latham Joyner. He had that happen, but boy, Noah Allison barely took any damage in the 24 machine. It was everybody else that crashed.
Blaine Edwards caught up in that one. Matt Barkhouse. I saw Daniel Sweat involved. So really a guy right in the middle. He was running 10th on that restart and right in the middle of the field, and just nobody could do anything to avoid it. Blaine Edwards having a great run there in that pink car. Kind kind of got the 24 kind of just spun into him.
Ouch. Unfortunately, cars just keep wrecking.
Bill, I heard that you had talked to Blaine a little bit because he's been having a rough season in the late models, and I heard you talk to him a little bit about his struggles with the super late model right now.
Yeah, he said he's been running some other stuff. I think he jumped over to the Road to Pro series, and he was trying to run for that. And those cars, the big, we call them big cars, the NASCAR style cars, drive differently than the super late model. And so when he came back to the super late model, he basically just said he felt like he lost a handle on it. It just felt different to him. It didn't feel right. And we know how fast Bladen's been in the super late model. Clearly, he's late model Challenger Series champion. And so he just kind of said, I'm just trying to find it again. Was having a good night tonight, and unfortunately that was not something that he caused, and he was caught in it.
Well, looking at where he's at on the racetrack, it looks like he's going to get a rejoin in the 11th spot. So sometimes the scoring kind of puts guys where they were when the caution came out, and unfortunately, or fortunately for Blaine Edwards, it looks like he's going to get to go back to about 11th position on the racetrack. So maybe a little bit of a break there for him.
And looking at the chat once again, looks like Caleb Hill is in the chat. I believe he just ran one of the B mains a little while ago, Jeff. He says, go Ward. So he's another Grayson Ward fan. Misty Ward saying, go Gray again. And Zach Owen watching.
The Grayson Ward fan club out in
out
droves right now.
Yeah.
Bo Ledbetter going to take us back. Green flag racing single file restart. They did not complete one last time. And these guys are stacking each other up once again. Ledbetter off and away, but trouble further on back.
Wow, that was insane. Now we got Magnum Tate looking to the inside of Blaze Brinkley. Can't make the move. Everybody stacked up because of what happened on that front straightaway. Looked like Grayson Ward might have gotten into the back a little bit of Bo Ledbetter, let him get it straight. Now they're going to be nose to tail through turns 3 and 4. Kelsey Rogers.
Trouble in turn 4. Dave Corsell got together with Will Jervicki. They are going to go around. And we got a caution here on the lap 111. There was a lot of stuff going on down the back straightaway, and they got to turn 3 and everybody starts going around.
Well, we're having trouble getting any kind of green flag racing in here. As these guys trying to get everything. Oh boy, we got Josh Kosick with Kelsey Rogers. We're going to go to that one. We're going to take a look at what happened there, because that looks like that's where it started.
Yeah, those two got together, and then I think Will Jervicki thought there was a big wreck coming in front of him. He checked up, and that just let the 54 drive right underneath them, and they got hooked together in the center of the corner, and that was just bad news for the 54 and the 30.
Yeah, I don't I think Dave Corsall just drove it into the bottom there. That was just, there was just mayhem happening. That started with Kosick and Kelsey Rogers. Rogers ends up straight into the corner. I think Jervicki, I don't think Dave knew where he was going to go. He didn't check up, drove in the left rear of the 30 car. AJ Rogers caught in it. You talked about that. Bill Martin caught in it. Jean-Philippe Bergeron. I don't know what's going on. I think when you see a car going crazy in front of you, you're not sure what's going to happen. But Dave just kind of committed to the bottom, and Will just kind of floated from the top to the bottom a little bit late. Just mayhem, causing issues with all these drivers.
Yeah, I think Corsall probably saw a hole there, and that thing closed up quickly as Will Jervicki. Will's probably just looking at the cars in front of him thinking, oh, they're all going to wreck, and he's trying to find a way to weave through, and unfortunately, he ends up getting collected. This car's coming through the back of the field, did not want to lift at all.
Yeah, Will ends up off the racetrack, so Will back into the pits. But again, just mayhem there. I don't know what happened. Grayson Ward was making contact. Actually, not Grayson Ward. I'm looking at Grayson Ward's car, and I'm saying his name. Not Grayson Ward. Kelsey Rogers. He was making contact, and he and Josh Kosick ended up making contact. But I think Kelsey Rogers had actually made contact with Blaine Edwards, which caused an issue. And then there was an issue down the back straightaway, so just got out of control.
They once again did not complete a lap there on that restart, so we're going back to single file. Bo Ledbetter, Grayson Ward, Blaze Brinkley, your top 3. Magnum Tate in the 4th spot. Dustin Monberquette running 5th. Felix Gratton 6th. And these restarts have been hectic right now. Bo Ledbetter, he's going to need a good one right now. Lap 115 restart in this 126 lapper. He's going to take him to the green flag, and he's going to try to get away from Grayson Ward. He got a great restart that time.
He's going to gap him by 2, maybe 3 car lengths down the front straightaway. Here comes Grayson Ward down into turn 1, trying to close that gap. Bo Ledbetter going to lead him down the back straightaway. Everybody single file.
Grayson Ward running second. Here comes Blaze Brinkley. Brinkley ran third last night in the late model shootout series race. His first start with the Monday night drivers. He ran third. He has got a ton of speed in that 11 car. Magnum Tate running fourth right now. Dustin Marquette fifth. A lot of fast drivers in this top 5-6 spots.
Everybody trying to get to that 26 machine. Bo Ledbetter trying to make it happen for Daniel Williamson in that Daniel Williamson car. Grayson Ward trying to spoil the party as he is trying to get this win. It'll be his second of the season if he can pass that 26 car.
Yeah, it's looking like we're going to have a repeat winner at this point. The top 3 drivers all have wins. The first guy who doesn't, Magnum Tate, running fourth right now. But it seems like he's not able to keep touch right now with Blaze Brinkley in that third spot.
Bo Ledbetter putting down some nice laps. Grayson Ward not able to close up the gap. Still about a car length. About 0.2 of a second as Grayson closes in a little bit in the corners, but Ledbetter able to get a nice run off the corners. You see that gap widen out just a little bit down straightaway.
Dustin Marquette got up the racetrack off turn 4 there and opened up the door for Felix Gratton. Gratton was not able to get there in time, and Dustin Marquette going to hold on to 5th, but he's got a lot of pressure from that 6th car, the last week's winner, right behind him.
Felix Gratton trying to get into the top 5. Just about a lap ago, you saw Grayson Ward get really sideways into turn number 1. That cost him a little bit of time. So we were about to get 5 to go, Jeff, as we hit the flag stand.
Yeah, time is running out right now. If you're Grayson Ward, if you're Blaze Brinkley, it is time to go. You need to get to the front. Bo Ledbetter still out front. And here comes Grayson Ward in that second spot. Blaze Brinkley third. And Magnum Tate is starting to reel these guys in as well. So it's about to be a 4-car race.
Yeah, do not count Magnum Tate out of this one. Here comes the 5 machine starting to make moves. We got a battle side by side a little farther back. Mike Alexander, Josh Kosick, they're going to battle for the 7th position.
Yeah, Kosick has done a great job to fight his way back up to the front. He had some issues that sent him to the rear of the field earlier on in this race. And he is now passing for the 7th position on Mike Alexander. So fantastic job from Kosick to get back to the front, and little contact there through 3 and 4.
Dave Corsall going to try to take advantage of that. So he's going to get to the inside of Mike Alexander as well. Here comes Blaine Edwards in the 16. We'll jump back up front with Bo Ledbetter as he's still got a little bit of a gap on Grayson Ward.
Yeah, and off turn 2, he's going to see the 2 to go for Bo Ledbetter. 2 laps to go around Martinsville Speedway.
Double popsicle sticks in the air for the 26 machine in that Daniel Williamson car, trying to win the Daniel Williamson 1 Memorial 126. Grayson Ward falling back just a little bit. Might have burned the tires up on that number 9. Blaze Brinkley not able to do anything. White flag is out.
Felix Gratton just moved the 16 of Dustin Marquette out of the way, trying to take over the 5th spot. Marquette going to give him the bumper back. This is the battle for 5th on the racetrack as your leader is down the back straightaway on the white flag.
Oh, we got a bump for second. Blaze Brinkley going to take second, but it's going to be Bo Ledbetter, your Daniel Williamson Memorial 126 winner. Grayson Ward will come home third. Brinkley second. Magnum Tate in that 5 machine. Actually, he's going to come home. Looks like he's going to be scored third. He was able to get by Ward as well.
Yeah, just nosed out a 3rd place finish from Grayson Ward there at the end. Felix Gratton going to come home 5th. Dustin Marquette 6th. Kosick 7th. Corsall 8th. Blaine Edwards 9th. Kelsey Rogers the top 10.
Bo Ledbetter going to, well, almost nose his car into the wall under burnouts, but he'll get some good ones in as he's going to do burnouts here to celebrate this win at Martinsville. Caleb Hall going to pull up in the other 26 car, and they'll beat on each other a little bit, Jeff.
Yeah, fantastic win for Bo Ledbetter in that 26 car, doing it for Daniel Williamson. He was really happy to be able to run that paint scheme, and again, that's the last paint scheme Daniel Williamson ran on iRacing, and really, really cool for these guys to get out there and use that car. And again, this is probably gonna be an emotional one for some of these guys that ran a lot with Daniel, were good friends with him, teammates to him. But it's as you said last week, it's a race that we want to have, but we don't want to have.
It's a race we want to have, but not. We don't want to name it what we named it. Unfortunately, that's what we all miss Daniel. Like we said last night, he had a tremendous amount of friends on the iRacing service. We all had a great time racing with him, and so many of us knew him personally. and had a lot of fun talking with him. Not just racing, but in our servers and things like that. So we will miss him, and this is what we wanted to do to remember our friend. And it was very cool that Bo Ledbetter put together that paint scheme to run on the race car, and he was able to pick up the win tonight.
Well, we got Bo with us. Bo, your second win of the season. You became the first guy between the two series to win 2 races now. You got your second win here in the Challenger Series, the Daniel Williamson Memorial 126. How special is this win?
I'm speechless, man. Daniel meant a lot to everybody, and I raced with him on the same team and everything. That's how I got this paint scheme. I had a replay. I was going back through the replays, and I found one, and he said something funny, some stuff on the replay, so I kept it, and then that's how I got his paint scheme. So I just transferred it over. But it really means a lot, man. Everybody misses him. He was a good dude, and he was very good at iRacing. He taught me a lot of the things I know in iRacing. So I think it's pretty cool.
So Bo, definitely an emotional win tonight. Like we said, the first repeat winner in this series. So congratulations for that. But you basically dominated the entire event, and I do want to point out, Jeff, that while you picked Brett Suggs last night, I picked Bo tonight. So
yes, you did.
Yes.
So we were 1-1 for the week.
That's right.
I didn't know. I got up front, so I tried to save. Even when Grayson was hitting me, I was still saving, trying to drive straight to the corner, because that's what Williamson taught me. To save the tires. So that's what I was doing. And then the last 8 laps right there, I just let it. I full sent it. I won't hold nothing back.
Well, Bo, there was a lot of stuff going on there on those restarts. Talk to us a little bit about what you're feeling there. It seemed like everybody behind you wanted to go before you were ready to go on those restarts.
Yeah, every time when I would try to go to hit the gas, as soon as I went to go hit the gas, they was hitting me, so I couldn't hit the gas. I had to let them get off of me to hit the gas. If not, I'd have spun out. So it was frustrating. But I understand everybody's antsy. It's Martinsville, so I understand it.
So during some of the actual racing, Bo, you got a couple of shots from other drivers, on the racetrack. They were trying to give you a little bit of a bump. Did that affect you too much, or were you just kind of focused forward?
Nah, Grayson was way faster than me, because like I said, I was trying to drive in straight and trying to drive off the corner straight, and I would get it to where he could catch me right in the center of the corner where it wouldn't upset me, where I had my wheel a little straight. So like I said, it was tough, but like I said, I wasn't going away with not getting a win here.
Well, Bo, we know you got a lot of people on your team over there at SPM. Who do you got to thank for this one and for getting you into this series and helping you out here on iRacing?
Daniel Williamson, man. I know he was with me today. Daniel Pope, Ken Hunley, Richard Allen, SPM, all the guys over there, Wiley Pure Dot Shop, Roost Place Restaurant, Lee Harrison and Adam Dowdy, my buddies over in the other Discord, Wiley Pure Dot Shop, and Shock Eye, man. This setup was unreal. It stayed under you the whole time. It got a little tight, but that's expected. So, Ken Hunley killed it this week.
Well, Bo, congratulations. Thank you so much for running that paint scheme, and way to go, man. Way to put it in victory lane.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
Well, that was your winner tonight. Bo Ledbetter going to go celebrate with his guys over at the Superior Performance Motorsports. And then we're going to talk to our second place finisher, Blaze Brinkley. So Blaze Brinkley going to come home second. You had a third place run last night. What did you need there at the end just to get around Bo Ledbetter?
Track position was key right there. I think me, him, and Grayson were about the same speed. I might have been a little bit quicker. It's just so hard to tell right there. I got into Grayson a little bit on the white flag. I'm sorry to him about that. I really did not mean to. I just got on the curb a little bit and got him in the door. So sorry to him about that.
So Blaze, clearly the issue is qualifying. What do we need to do to make you just a little bit quicker in qualifying so you don't have to run through the field every single night?
I don't know, man. It's just the qualifying's not there, but with these finishes, I'll kind of take what we can get, but qualifying, I don't know. It's just kind of off and on sometimes. But a lot of these guys, they work on qualifying so much, and then they get to the race and they don't know what to do once the right front tire is gone. And I think that's one thing that kind of benefits us later in the race. But overall, it's a pretty good race.
Well, Blaze, things are starting to get down to the end of the season. We got just, I believe, 2 more races left before we start our playoffs. What is your strategy here in the last couple of races? Are you just looking for wins from here on out, or are you just trying to build a points lead before the playoffs?
Just staying consistent. I think that's just the best way to win a championship or to stay good in points is just try to put together the best finishes you can. And honestly, try not to worry about the points too much when you're out there because the more you put that on yourself, the more you're going to try to break under pressure.
Well, Blaze, we say it every week. We know it takes a group of guys to teach you how to drive these cars. Bo Ledbetter just talked about how Daniel Williamson himself taught him how to drive Martinsville. Who do you want to think that has gotten you 2 weeks in a row? You've had unbelievable speed, and this whole week you've been great. Who helped you in Martinsville to make you this fast?
Yeah, I got to thank my whole team at BHR, Brinkley Hefner Racing. All of us, we try to work together and help each other out when one of us is a little off somewhere. So big thanks to those guys. Jacob Hefner with JHGD Wraps for keeping me looking good.
Well, thank you, Blaze, for taking the time to talk with us. Second night in a row. We're going to go let you rest up for next week. You got a busy week next week. 5 flags on the schedule, Monday and Tuesday night. We're hoping to see you in both of them.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
So our third place finisher with us, Magnum Tate. This is your first start in the Challenger Series, and you come out firing. You missed the show in Dover. You come here in Martinsville, and you get a top 3. How's that feel to race with this group and get a top 3 finish?
Yeah, definitely. These guys, they're not easy. They're in the toughest race or toughest league that I've been in besides Sarah. But feels good to come back after Dover. I struggled at Dover a little bit, but to come back and run third, I was very happy.
Well, you definitely made a car change. You went to the Krispy Kreme donuts car, so maybe that gained a little bit of speed for you, Magnum. But looked like you were through the middle of the race. You looked like you might have been stroking a little bit. You kind of were sitting back there, and then towards the end you started to make some moves. Were you saving tires through the middle of the event?
Yeah, I was trying to keep up with Caleb for a little bit, and I felt like their pace was a little faster than I wanted it to go, and I backed off a pace, and I just wanted to save the right front and keep the drive in it, keep turning it for the late race stuff. Because I figured, people's gonna throw blocks, and there's gonna be a caution fest near the end, so just gotta save tires and be there at the end.
Well, Magnum, you were kind of in the middle there of that top 10 group, and there was, as you said, some blocking going on and some wild racing there. How hard is it to kind of avoid all of that chaos when you're just trying to save tires and ride around, get to the end, and the guys around you are just racing so hard early on?
Yeah, I mean it's tough because I wanted to sit in third, and Grayson was pushing a little harder, so I had to let him go, and then it's just kind of difficult because you got to run your own pace, and then you have guys behind you really pushing it, so you got to give and you got to take. And I was trying to play restart games, try to be in the odd number or the even number so I get the bottom, but luckily it worked out and good solid third place finish tonight.
So Magnum, occasionally we talk to our drivers about some of their plans in real life, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe I've seen you race at the Greenville Pickens Speedway. Are you still doing that this season?
Yes, sir. We're actually gonna run the Cars Tour race this coming Saturday, so we're hoping for a good little run. Been running out there for 4 years now, and trying to go for a championship. Just never had the luck to do it, so hopefully we can do it this year.
Well, Magnum, we're going to give you a chance to thank anybody you need to thank, and any sponsors you want to give a shout out to here on our broadcast.
I thank Brinkley After Racing for giving me, especially Jacob with the design of the Krispy Kreme car. I was kind of like a little idea. I thought it was a joke, but it actually turned out pretty good, and I'm happy with the way it come out.
Well, Magnum, we're going to go let you celebrate your third place finish. Congratulations. A fantastic run tonight. And we're hoping to see more from you as the season moves on here, heading to 5 flags next week.
Oh yeah, I feel like 5 flags one of my stronger tracks on the sim. So I feel like I've ran pretty good there. I won a Sarah race one there one time, so hopefully I can get out front and kind of run my own pace and see if I can grab me a win.
Well, good luck this weekend, Magnum, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Well, Bill, fantastic racing tonight. That was a heck of a race there at the end. Some wild action. Martinsville didn't disappoint. These guys got after it after a couple of weeks of long green flag racing. Really, we got some great green flag racing tonight. It's just some chaos and craziness in the middle of the field.
Yeah, there was some beating and banging, a lot of the restart craziness that we saw. We talked to some of our drivers, the top three, about that. Bo Ledbetter definitely was affected by that, even out front. So if it's getting to the guy up, that's leading the race, it's definitely going to happen in the middle of the field, and we saw that happening with guys spinning out and getting hit. But came home, and it was a good event. We had a good 2 nights of racing here at Martinsville, and paid tribute to a friend. So I'm happy, and I'm sure those guys that took home the title are feeling pretty good about it too.
Well, we got a couple of nights off here to kind of get our voices back. We did a lot of yelling and shouting the last couple of days.
I'm getting coarse.
Yeah, it's been crazy. It was a wild 2 nights of racing, but fantastic shows both nights. We thank you so much, everybody that hung out with us on Facebook, everybody that watches us on YouTube, everybody's going to see it on Twitch. We do appreciate it. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Make sure you're following us on Facebook. We're going to have more information coming about the Wadsworth Motorcars 125s from Five Flag Speedway. Round number 8, Bill. We're heading for the playoffs. We're getting so close now. This is the last couple races. These guys have a chance to get into the playoffs.
Oh, it's going to be fun. I'm excited to see what happens to try to get into the playoffs. There's great battles for that final position, and I think the playoffs are going to be insane. So I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun.
Well, you're not going to want to miss it next weekend, 9 p.m. or next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday and Tuesday night. We'll be live once again. Be there for round number 8 of the Wadsworth Motorcars 125 from Five Flag Speedway. We will see you there.